Okay, today we're talking about learning how to plot points on our coordinate grid. And most of us already know how to plot points on coordinate grid. This is just a quick refresh for us. The first thing that I'm going to tell us that's really important that I see mistakes with quite frequently is that we need to make sure that we label our grid appropriately. And what I mean by that is a couple of things. The first is I need to look at my ordered pairs, my ordered X and Y pairs. And I need to look and see what numbers I have for both my X and my Y column. A lot of times I see people make grids, and I'll see a grid that looks like this. And we'll label it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we'll label our negatives. But if all of my X and Y's are positive, I don't need to have all four quadrants of this grid. Likewise, I've seen a lot of people that will make our grid like this, and we'll label it, and we'll go 1, and we'll go all the way out to like 50 over here. But if my largest X point is only up to 7 or 8, I don't need to go all the way to 50. So I'm always looking for how big do I need to make my graph, what points should I include. The second piece that we need to remind ourselves of, and this is already on this page here, is that our coordinate points are always coming out X first and Y second. And what I mean by that is our X coordinate point is always going to go left or right on the coordinate plane. Our Y coordinate point is always going to go up and down. It's really important that we don't forget which one comes first. The most common mistake that I see is people do our Y, or go up and down first and then do our X. It's really important that we remember our order matters for this, and we always have to go left or right first and then up or down. The third point, and this one's pretty simple, once I've gone left or right first and up or down second, I need to plot my point. And when I've plotted my point, and this comes back to my labeling piece, I need to make sure that I'm plotting my point, and I will do this in blue. I need to make sure that I'm plotting my point directly on the corner of my graphs, because if I've labeled appropriately, I'm going to have a 1 directly on the line, not in the space. I see a lot of people put in the space. We want our numbers to be labeled directly on the line, so maybe that's a 1 and that's a 2, so I've labeled, and this meets directly in the corner of 1 and 2. So all you have to do is plot your point, and that's pretty much it. So let's do a quick look here, and we're going to look at 3 different examples that we're going to have. So our first example is going to be 0, 4. Our second example that we're going to have is going to be 3, 2. Our third example is going to be 5, 1. And our fourth example will be 6, 3. And the last thing, and this is really important, is that our ordered pairs are always written with parentheses around them. That's one of the ways that we know that they are ordered pairs. So it's really important that we include that we're not just writing the numbers, but that we include those ordered pairs as well. So right now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my ordered pairs. And I'm going to look for the largest numbers that I see for my X and my Y. I'm going to look here and see that my largest X coordinate point is 6. So going from left to right, I don't need any negative numbers because I don't have any negative numbers here. And the biggest number that I need to make is going to be 6. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. I'm going to go across, and I want to make sure that I've included 6 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And again, you've noticed I've numbered directly on those lines. I want to do the same thing now for my Y coordinate, so I'm going to look on my Y side, and I'm looking for the largest number that shows up over there, and I can see that that's a 4. So again, I don't need to make this grid all the way up to number 50. That doesn't make any sense. I'm simply going to graph this out, and I can label up 1, 2, 3, and 4. And again, remember those numbers are written directly on the lines. Okay, my first point was 0, 4. And this is one of the most common mistakes that I see is we flip-flop these backwards, especially when we involve zeros. So that's one of the reasons I put this one on here. I start at my 0 point, and it tells me I'm going to go left or right 0 and up 4. So in this case, I don't have to go left or right because I'm going over 0, and then I'm just going to go up 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I place my point right there. There's my first point at 0, 4. My next point was at 3, 2, so I'm going to walk over 1, 2, 3 first, and up 1, 2, and I'm going to place my mark right on the lines at 3, 2. My next one is at 5, 1, so I'm going to walk over 5 that direction to the right, and up 1 that direction, and I end up right on that point there. And my last point was 6, 3, so I'm going to repeat the same process. I'm going to go to the right 6, and that would lead me right there, but I also need to go up 3, so up 1, 2, 3, and my last point would be right there. Okay. If I've done this correctly, all of my points are directly on those the places where the lines meet, and I've always done my X number first and my Y coordinate second.